Alright, gang, so let's wrap this up. That was the first ever episode of TrainRekt. I hope you enjoyed it. It was super awesome that we got to play a match against Gaby, even though she was not feeling an Odyssey draft. And I can't blame her.
I lost a bet against Twitch chat where I let them choose which format I should draft. And this is where we are now.
That said, let's just break everything down real quick. So, the deck. I would rate the deck at pretty trash, but approaching decent, because there was a half of the deck that was actually good. The Avon Wind Reader, the Savage Firecat, pretty good top end, Cephalid Retainer, a Stone Cold Bomb, and Ember Beast in the 3-drop slot did pretty well. The 2 Flame Burst package with the Partic Firecat was also a pretty neat package. Escape Artist also totally playable card, and the Syncopates, maybe 2 is excessive, I'm not sure, but they also seemed pretty reasonable, especially considering this is a format where a 3-drop pro-red creature can just hose our entire game plan. So maybe the counter magic, the cheap counter magic, is good. That said, the deck is super inconsistent because the other half of the deck is basically unplayable. 1-mana 1/1s, bad card filtering, expensive removal, and cards that are freaking bugged on Mitgo. With the right draw, it ends up being pretty good. For the most part, it's too inconsistent. I also had a lot of problems with understanding the format and understanding the cards, which contributed to some throwaway picks that ultimately weakened the deck. Now for the beer. Breaking Bud is much better than my deck. It's a pretty multi-layered flavor, but it also is not particularly original. I think it reminds me a lot of like a Ballast Point Sculpin or what you typically get out of an IPA, but it is very refreshing and light, super drinkable. I think even for people that don't tend to like IPAs, this might be a good gateway IPA. To this beer's credit, while I was editing the videos, it took longer than I thought. I went back to the store and got another one so I could taste it when I talked about it here. And because it was that good, I wouldn't waste the money on it if it wasn't. So, honestly, a pretty good beer. The problems with it, I'm a fan of like more out there types of flavors, and this is a pretty traditional IPA. But for the price point, the 4-pack was $15, 50 cents at my local bottle shop, which to me, even for pint cans, for a 4-pack, is a little more than I'd want to be spending on something like this, which is just kind of a session IPA that I would want to drink, a decent amount of over a barbecue or hanging with some friends. So the end note of this episode, this inaugural episode of TrainRekt, is beer pretty good, deck pretty bad, but it was a fun time playing games with Gaby, and actually fun exploring that kind of tricky format that is Odyssey. So check us out next time. Community Matters Cast, TrainRekt, and follow Gaby if you haven't already.